But we don't say the Injil is the Bible, though.
I know you don't.
We never. The Injil is the gospel that was with Jesus.
But what is that?
Even when you like do your research, when you go, like, is the Injil the Bible? That we don't say the Injil is the Bible.
Well, what is it then? If it's not the Bible,
the Injil is what was with Jesus.
What was that?
It's God. It's God. It's God.
What just happened? Oh, this is.
Wait, did it record?
We missed that part. Oh my gosh,
Wait,
bro.
What did he say?
He said, you know, he slipped out of.
We don't say he's the.
He accidentally said when he says that, like, he's divine prophet, not divine, but
not divine. Like we don't say he's divine. We just say he's a creation of God. You see how God created Adam? He created him in a specific way.
Yeah.
There will never be a person created like Adam, and there will never be a person created like Jesus. So when God says be, we say God just says be, and something comes to be. So we don't just say that.
I would argue that in the Quran, Jesus does have a level of divinity to him.
Where would you say?
Because, like, for example, there's, like you were talking about, there's attributes and abilities that belong to God alone. Would you agree?
Yeah.
And like creation, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, in the Quran, it says that Jesus created a bird from clay with Allah's permission.
Yeah.
But he created.
Yeah, that's the key part, with Allah's permission.
So with Allah's
permission, like, let's say I create let's say I turn, let's say I create,
You turn that into banana.
Yeah, let's say I turn that banana, and God lets me do it.
Yeah.
God let me. He let the ability. Like,
I know. I'll go with you. So let's go with that. Allah, gave Jesus it says the permission to create this bird from clay. So now Jesus is a creator of life, thanks to Allah giving him permission, right?
Yeah.
So now in Islam you have two creators of life, but that's supposed to only be God.
We're also creators as well. So we create, like, I can create.
Do you create life?
We can't create life.
Right.
Yeah, we can't.
This is something.
Like, let's say me and a woman came together. The baby will come together because God permitted it to be.
That's right. Yeah. However, this one, Jesus did it.
Yeah, with God's permission.
So
everyone's a creator.
We're not.
Everyone's a creator.
Hold on, just a second.
Yeah.
Only God is the creator of life.
He's the ultimate creator. He's the creator of all creators.
Is there another creator of life, though?
A creator of life? No, there is no.
Exactly. So since there's only one creator of life, if Jesus created life by God's permission, now he is another creator of life with Allah's permission.
We're also creators, though.
You're not hearing what I'm saying. I'm not talking about us making things. I'm talking about creating life. Okay? Like, even the Quran says, if all the jinn and the men in the world get together, none of them will be able to create a... Boom, you got it. So this is one of the evidences that Allah is using against pagan idols and false gods to show that he is the true God, because he's the creator of life. Nobody can create life. So if Jesus creates life, whether you say it's by Allah's permission or not, but Allah's permission.
There's like, you said it, by Allah's permission, and that's where it stops. Like,
well, he's a creator of life now.
Let's say God lets what's your real name?
Avery.
Let's say God lets Avery create an elephant right here.
Yeah, I'm a creator of life.
Yeah, because God lets you do it.
So now
you're not the person who gave permission.
No worries. Yeah. There's just now two creators of life.
Yeah.
So if there's two creators of life, you now destroy monotheism.
Okay.
You get the point?
Let's say if you destroy monotheism, let's get into. We can switch, like, the last topic for me and him to start walking again. Okay. Okay. So the Trinity, right?
Do you agree that if there's two creators of life, that is no longer monotheism?
No, because there's a key to it, by Allah's permission. So let's say God, how I explained it to you, like God.
So by Allah's permission, he could create other creators of life.
Yeah, because if Allah's.
If you're a creator of life, you're not a God?
No, because there's the ultimate creator.
But you told me
the person who gave you the permission. That's like you being an employee, right? And your boss lets you do something, and you say, "Oh, I'm the boss," and, like, you know how you. No, but
let's say you're a CEO, right? And then you make somebody else another CEO. Like, you give them all the executive abilities of a CEO that a CEO does. Yeah. You give somebody else that. So now they're a CEO with you.
No, you let them be the CEO.
Right. Yeah. So
you're still above them.
No, you guys are now both CEOs.
Let's
saying they have the same ability to do it.
So now there's no longer one CEO.
Can there be
there's
two CEOs of one company?
Yes, there actually can. There's examples of that. Yeah.
Two CEOs?
Yeah, there's
there can't be two CEOs.
Yes, there's literally companies with co-CEOs. CEOs, bro.
Co, they're called co.
Yeah, that means with.
They're not the real CEO. Like there's somebody above. Like
No, they're both co-CEOs. They
Yeah.
run the business together.
but still, you know, we're talking about God, right?
I know. That's
He's
what I'm
still,
point.
He's still the ultimate. Like
Okay, if you want to say that, let's go with it. Then that's still not monotheism. That would be henotheism. You're saying that there's one ultimate, but then there's one under the ultimate. So that, but there's still two, but there's one better.
all right, let me ask you this now. So you say, okay, you say Jesus is God, right?
Yes.
And you say the Son is God.
Jesus is the Son.
Okay, I mean, you say the Father is God.
The Father is God. The Son is God. The Holy Spirit.
Okay. They're not each other, right?
They're not each other. They're
Okay.
distinct in personhood.
Okay, when you say person, what do you mean person?
Underlying reality of a rational nature.
Okay,
So meaning there is a cognitive self-awareness, there's intellect, right,
okay,
in
so
personhood.
would you say since they're not each other, they would be? I know Christians, they don't like saying individuals or because you guys don't say that. You guys like
Individuals?
yeah, like
Individual persons? I don't have a
Okay,
problem with
'cause-
that phrase.
individual persons who are not each other, but one
They're distinct from each other in personhood.
That means they're not each other. so-
Identical in nature.
Yeah.
So these, remember, the two distinctions.
Yeah.
Personhood, nature. They're united, identical in nature, distinct in their personhood, who they are.
So when we say nature, what is the nature?
It's what they are. So like
What
basically,
are they? So
they're divine. They're God.
so,
Yes.
like, when you say they're God,
Yeah. I'm talking about their divine nature.
so for God to be God, do you think that like the Trinity is necessary?
100%.
Okay, so that's what I mean. Like me and my like Christian friend. That's what we're like, you know.
I think you would agree with me.
No, because like how we say is God is just like, let's say 1 and 1. You guys say 1 like 1 and 3 or 3 and 1.
Okay, so how about this? According to the Quran, Allah is nothing like his creation, right? Are you one person?
Yeah, one person.
Is Allah one person?
He's one.
So he's just like you,
But he's above. He's like above.
but he's just like you.
He's not. No, because a person we're humans. Like
I know you're a human being who
Yeah.
is one person.
individual.
He's a divine being.
the-
you are too.
No, when you say person, I'm an individual.
And he's an individual.
Yeah, but he's the individual who created everything.
No problem, no worries.
Yeah.
I got you, but just like how you're a single individual,
Yeah.
Allah is a single individual. He's just like you.
Yeah, but so
Wait, I need you to rest on that.
yeah, he's individual. So we're all.
So you're similar to Allah.
No.
Come on, bro.
Because Allah is God, and there's.
But I'm talking
we're
about.
not a creation.
Okay.
He's not a creation. He's
No worries. I'm
the
talking
creator.
about. I got you. But I'm just talking about. There's certain aspects that you are like Allah in. For example, you are a single person, just like Allah is a single person.
But
Allah has hands, right?
Allah has, you're talking about the two right hands.
Yeah, it's two right hands.
Yeah.
You have hands.
No, we don't. Okay, you're talking human hands?
We're going hands. Period.
Or
You have hands, right?
Okay, a clock has a hand.
Okay, so
yeah.
like Allah, a clock has hands too.
No, okay, but when we say hand, we don't get, like as a Muslim, we don't get into like we don't
You don't
get
cross
into-
that line,
we don't
right?
cross- we just say
But you cross the line with Christianity.
The Christianity.
Look at your
the
face.
Christianity is like more of like we get into the Trinity, like even
Yes,
Jewish-
but I'm getting into
yeah,
Tawheed right now.
Like even, I have Jewish friends, right? Me, like I say a Jew, like I see a Jew like as more of a monotheist.
That's
than a
fine.
Christian because.
That don't mean nothing to me,
Yeah.
bro. I'm talking about how you
Yeah.
are similar to your God. When you say that, that Allah is the creator, he's unlike his creation. However, when I read the Quran and I look at you and me, I see a lot of similarities with Allah and us. He has hands, we have hands. Whether you say his hands are unlike what we know, fine, but he has hands just like I have hands. He is one individual person like I'm one individual person. He's not completely unique from his creation.
He's completely unique.
How? I'm just naming up
Because
similar
he's the
things.
creator of all creators. He's like you see the sky right now. You see the trees.
Yeah.
Can you create a tree? You see those birds down there? Can you create?
Jesus good.
Hey, but with Allah's permission, let's say God lets
So you got two creators of
God's
life.
permission.
Yeah.
That's
So
what we say.
look, this is my point. With Allah's permission,
Yeah, but
you have two creators of life. That's no longer monotheism, unless
how is that monotheism?
because if you're all right, only God can create life.
Yeah.
Period. Only God can create life. If Allah gives somebody else the ability to create life, He has now created another God. That's another God now.
That's a miracle. He let somebody do a miracle.
Okay, all right. So now he's God. He's another creator of life. Like for example, when that bird tweets in the morning, who is that bird gonna praise?
Okay. So God is the how I say this? He's the most high. So he's the most high.
Most high over what?
Most high of everything. Like he
Over what though?
over everything, like everything you see, he's the most high of all creation.
Right. So when it comes to
the galaxies, the earth, you know, the universe.
So how does that help solve the two God problem?
Because he's the king of all like kings, bro. He's like there is no.
Ooh.
We say God right here, right? And we say creation, and it's
Where's Jesus?
Jesus. Okay, Jesus was a prophet. That's what we say. We don't say
A prophet who could create life.
Well, also, what's his name? There was a prophet that also, you know, in the Bible too.
Who what?
There's a
Who raised the dead? Elijah?
yeah, and then that's what I'm saying. Like
But no prophet created life.
there's if you raise a dead, like that's God's permission. You know,
I understand, but we're talking about creating life, brother. This is a divine attribute of God alone. Oh, just pay attention to this, because I need you to understand the implications.
I hear what you're saying, but there's a key aspect.
All right, so what is my point? What is my point?
Your point is saying if there's two creators of life, then that means there's two creators. They're trying to say that's two gods. We don't say that's two gods.
I know you don't say that, but this is the conclusion.
No, that isn't the conclusion, because that's wrong, because God is God still, and Jesus
is a little God now.
Not little God.
Yeah, you have Allah, who's the bigger God, and now he made Jesus a little God.
He's a prophet. That's what we say. He's a prophet. That's where we leave it at. But
I know that's where you want to leave it at, but that's not the conclusion.
That is the conclusion, because we're also bro. I can create like let's.
You can't create life.
Hey, let's say me and a girl come together, right?
Okay.
How does the baby get? Who lets the baby in?
God does.
Yeah.
God creates that life through the reproductive system.
And whose permission?
God creates that life.
If God doesn't want the baby to be born, He can say no. Right?
There is no baby going to be created if God doesn't create that baby in the womb.
No, if He doesn't allow, like, let's say there has a miscarriage or some type of thing happens.
Yeah.
And God is God's permission. Like your heart breathing right now. Your heart is only breathing because God let your heart.
Of course.
So that's what we say. God lets everything.
But I have the ability to breathe.
Yeah.
But I'm breathing by God's permission. He's giving me permission to use my ability to breathe, right?
Yeah, and He's also
so basically like this. So when Jesus creates the bird, He already has the ability to create the bird. Now He just gets Allah's permission to create. He already has that ability. He just now uses that ability when He gets permission to, right?
Yeah, God gave him that ability.
No, there's different. There's a difference between giving ability versus giving permission.
He gave him that permission and ability to do that.
All right, now the Quran don't say ability, bro.
Not ability, but permission. He gave him permission just in that time of frame when Jesus said, "Oh God, these people are not believing in me.
Yeah.
They don't want to believe in you, God. Send me a sign to them so I can show them."
That's not what happened.
Or something like that, because most prophets, because nobody, when God sends a prophet, the whole message of the prophet say, because the people are lost, they're losing faith.
That never happened with Jesus, brother. Jesus never complained to. That's not a.
Or like in Islam, like all of our prophets, God sent them to teach the people of their nations.
Right.
Because the children of Israel, they're from Moses, right?
Yeah.
God.
Or with Moses. He's from the children of Israel too.
Because God favored them because
He chose them.
Yeah, He chose them because the Pharaoh was abusing them and stuff like that. That's the thing. We have a lot of similarities with Christianity. Like it's just we have like even the Jews reject Jesus being a prophet. The Muslims, we say He's a prophet, but we don't say He's God. And we got the Christians.
Yeah, but you call Him the Messiah, bro.
Yeah, because we say He's the anointed one to come back.
To come back?
Yeah.
Where does the Quran say that?
He's the Messiah. Messiah means the anointed one.
Yeah, but for what?
And we also have the Hadith as well.
But okay, that's good. I'll give you both. According to the Quran or the Hadith, why is Jesus the Messiah? What does that even mean?
God chose him.
Look, God chose all those prophets, right?
The Antichrist. There's a specific person.
Got you. So Jesus isn't the Messiah until He defeats the Antichrist.
He is. He's a chosen one.
Is that the proof? Is that the checkbox that makes Him the Messiah, defeating the Antichrist?
To come back. The person.
Okay, so I want you to think with me.
The Jews also believe in a Messiah as well.
I got you.
They say He's coming back.
Just think this through with me, okay? You're saying that what signifies Jesus being the Messiah is Him coming back to kill the Antichrist. So before that, there's nothing that points to Him being the Messiah until the end time comes and He kills the Antichrist.
Yeah, but He's still, because at the end, He stole them. He's going to steal them.
So my question is this: why would a Jew believe Jesus when he says, hey guys, I'm the Messiah. Why would a Jew believe him if he can't prove he's the Messiah until he comes beat the Antichrist?
But he proved that he was a prophet, though.
No, that's the bit. Okay, Moses is a prophet, yeah?
Yeah.
Muhammad a prophet, yeah? Are they messiahs?
No, there's only one Messiah.
Very good. So being a prophet doesn't make you the Messiah.
Yeah, there's only one Messiah. So God
very good.
chose.
So follow me. So specifically the Messiah. This is a special identification. Jesus comes and says, "Hey guys, I'm the Messiah." Why would a Jew believe him?
He gave them many like miracles, and he showed them.
How do you know that doing miracles is a checkbox to being the Messiah?
Because there's if you're a regular human and you see someone doing supernatural things,
that means nothing. Prophets did that, right?
Yeah, because
that don't make the Messiah, though, do it?
The Messiah, you got to, because Jesus, he was truthful. People believe.
So what?
Yeah.
Prophets were truthful.
Yeah,
that don't make the Messiahs.
That's why you got to believe, because it's for the people who believe, though.
But why? What reason would they have to believe?
God chose.
How would they know?
If you believe, it's all about belief.
No, but no. Listen, brother. The belief has to be substance. Has to have foundation
Let me ask
or something.
you this, Avery. So if God, like, let's say atheists, right? They only say, "Oh, I'm not gonna believe in God until He comes up, down, and shows me this." That's what they say. So it's just you gotta. It's all about faith.
But so you're saying what you're describing sounds like blind faith. Like no evidence. I just believe off of the choice to believe.
No, it's not blind faith. We have many reasons why we believe.
Okay, good. So my question is, what are the reasons? What are the check boxes that are the evidences for Jesus being the Messiah?
As a Muslim, we go to the Quran.
I know you do. That's what I'm asking you.
Yeah. That's the thing. I don't believe what you like. I don't believe what you believe, and you don't believe what I believe.
Brother,
so that's the thing.
Before there was a Quran, was there a term called the Messiah?
Was there a Messiah?
Was there a concept?
I'm not sure. I would have to.
Where do you think the term Messiah comes from? The Quran?
It comes because Jesus said he was a Messiah.
Very good. So if Jesus claims to be the Messiah, that's 600 years before a Quran is even thought of, right?
Yeah.
So before there's a Quran, there was Injil. Very good. There's Injil and there's Torah, right? Okay. So we know that the term Messiah, this concept, comes from the previous scriptures. So the previous scriptures will tell you what the Messiah is supposed to do, who he's supposed to be, where he's supposed to be from, his mission and everything. It'll give you the check boxes, right? So you don't find this in the Quran. The Quran just says Jesus is the Messiah without telling you how. You need to go to the previous scriptures to learn how and why.
It doesn't say that.
What doesn't say that?
In Islam, we don't say we have to go back to the. It says to affirm. Like it says to refer to the.
Hold on a second, brother. You done hit my topic now. You.
I'm wrong.
Bro, this is literally the argument he gave when we first talked. You're cooked, bro.
Yeah, hold up.
This is chapter 10, verse 94. If you want to, yeah.
So if you, Muhammad, are in doubt concerning that which we have revealed to you, that your name is written in the Torah.
No, that's brackets. Forget the brackets.
Then ask those who are reading the book, the Torah and the Injil, the gospel before you. Verily, truth has come to you
from your Lord.
Yeah.
So be not of those who doubt, right?
Yeah.
So according to this verse, it says, so if you are in doubt concerning that which we have revealed to you, meaning the Quran, right? Because that came to Muhammad, right?
Yeah.
So if you're doubting the Quran, what does Allah tell Muhammad to do? He says, go and ask those who've been reading the scripture before you. Truly the truth has come to you from your Lord, so do not doubt. So Allah tells Muhammad, bruh, if you're doubting the Quran, if you're doubting what I'm revealing to you in the Quran, go check the previous scriptures. The Quran literally says that you got to do this.
I think you debated somebody on this topic.
I sure did.
Who was it? I didn't have a lot of people on this.
Yeah, I use this as a main.
Okay, let's say a knowledgeable Muslim. Like, what was their answer?
A Muslim.
I can't give you the right answer for that.
There is none. But I'll tell you what they say. I'll give you their responses. Their response So their responses would be, well, Muhammad didn't doubt. So it only says if he doubted. He never doubted. That's what their response would be. My argument isn't that Muhammad doubted. My argument is, what does Allah tell him to do if he doubts? And so it says, go to the previous scriptures. Another response they'll say is, oh, well, this is talking about specific things. Like in this chapter, when it refers to the stories of the prophets or whatever, it's checking those specific things, not everything. That's what they would say. The Quran doesn't say that, okay? But even if I were to grant that, let's say it only is saying, check these things on this particular topic. You still got to go to the Bible. It still tells them to do that. So There's no answer.
That's something that I would have to. I can't give you the answer. Like,
There is no answer. I'm just showing you what the Quran says,
I
bro.
would have to look into this because I heard this. Like I really, when I hear this argument, I just go past it. Like I just.
Oh, brother.
Because I didn't have a Muslim really talk about because when a Muslim and a Christian are debating, they debate the Trinity. They debate the Bible is corrupted. They debate Jesus
being God or dying on the cross.
This is one of the new I know Avery. This is one of your main points that you got. It is I see how you come across that point. But I don't have an answer for that. So
it's okay. So this is what my conclusion with this is that because the Quran is telling us to go back to the previous scriptures, we got to do that if we let the Quran speak. Let's do what the Quran says. We go check the Bible.
There's also a verse in the Quran that says affirm like the previous.
It confirms it.
Confirms the Quran confirms, and it talks about it talks about verses being changed.
It never does. It never does. It says that they distort with their mouths. It says they try to conceal the truth.
They distort Allah's
words, but with their tongue.
Yeah, and
that's 378.
I'm not sure if it says in writing or not, but I gotta look it up. But
there's one verse that a lot of people try to go to. We've been doing a whole live stream on this, bro. They try to go to 279 where it says, "Woe to those who write the scripture with their own hand, claiming that it's from God." Okay, good. And this is why that one doesn't work, because it says, "Woe to those who write the book with their own hands." So, actually before that it says, matter of fact, let's go to it. You want to see it? And then we'll, I don't want to keep it too long, but...
Yeah, I'm about to go right now.
All right, so let me just show you how this doesn't work, okay? 278. I'm going to show you why this is silly. And so I never want you to make this argument because you'll look silly, okay? Don't do that. I care about you. Let's read the verse before. So it says, verse 78, "And there are among them unlettered people who know not the book, but they trust upon false desires, and they but guess. Then woe to those who write the book with their own hands, and then say this is from Allah, to purchase with it a little price. Woe to them for what their hands have written, and to what they for what they earn."
Read this verse right here that comes out there.
"And they say, the fire, skip the brackets, shall not touch us, but for a few numbered days. Say, have you taken a covenant from Allah, so that Allah will not break his covenant? Or is it that you say of Allah what you know not?" So basically, you have these people, they don't know the book, they're unlettered, they don't know the scripture. Then it says, woe to those who write the book with their own hands. They don't know the scripture, so they can't change what they don't know. They're writing fake books, claiming it's from God. They don't know the actual scripture. You know what I'm saying? So the Torah is still intact. The gospel is still intact.
There's also another verse that say the Quran is the final revelation.
It never says that. It never says that the Quran is the final revelation.
The book of truth.
It says the Torah.
What came before.
Exactly. So it says the Torah and the gospel is book of truth as well, and in them are guidance and light.
They were, like we say at one point in time.
I know you say, but the Quran never says that stops. Matter of fact, look, it literally says, it's still in chapter 2. Let's go to let's go a few verses before. We'll go to verse 41. Watch what it says in verse 41. It says, look, it says, "And believe in what I have sent down, confirming that which is with you," right?
Confirming that which with you, the Torah, the first to,
and the gospel.
"And do not be the first to disbelieve when they get not from my verses, the Torah." It says it right here. Not the first to disbelieve therein, and by get the Torah and the Angel gospel by selling verses, fear me, and...
Yep. So notice how this verse says that the Quran came down confirming that which is with them. So what they have is true, the Quran is saying. The Torah and the gospel, it's true, even in Muhammad's time. So this idea that the Quran says that they're corrupted is silliness. They're lying about what the Quran says, bro. They're doing what they're accusing Christians of doing, distorting the words of the Quran. So this is why I said this is the biggest argument that I have against Islam or Muslims when they come. The Quran affirms the Bible over and over again, bro.
But we don't say the Injil is the Bible, though.
I know you don't.
We never. The Injil is the gospel that was with Jesus.
But
Even
what
when
is
you
that?
Even when you go, even when you like do your research, when you go, like, is the Injil the Bible? That we don't say the Injil is the Bible.
Well, what is it then? If it's not the Bible,
the Injil is what was with Jesus.
What was that?
And that was the Injil. That was just basically the Injil. That was
You're saying, I know, bro. When you say the Bible is not the Injil,
Yeah.
that means that you know what the Injil actually is then. So what was it?
Because we don't have the actual Injil.
Very good.
Yeah.
So you're saying you don't have the actual Injil.
It either got lost in time or something.
So then how do you know that the Bible isn't it?
Because we put it in, we go to what the Quran and the Hadith says.
Where does the Quran reject? It literally says that they have it.
No, it doesn't talk about the Bible. It talks about
It says the Injil, the gospel.
The Injil is not the Bible. The Bible is a collection of books.
And what is in that collection of books? Torah,
There's a Torah,
Psalms, Gospel, Injil.
There's a book called the Gospel.
Brother, we got a Bible?
Yeah.
Right here, right?
Yeah.
Oh, here it is.
There's a book called there's a chapter called the Gospel.
Dude, look, man.
I never heard of Gospel.
Look,
Like a chapter. I'm not talking like right.
I'm showing you. Look,
Collection of books.
the Gospel. So this is the Gospel of Jesus according to Mark. So basically, Mark wrote it. It's the Gospel of Jesus that Mark wrote, his account, right? He literally starts out by saying this: the beginning of the Gospel of Jesus Christ, the Son of God. We have the Gospel, bro. And then they start telling the Gospel. Okay.
So you say this map, like, what is this?
This is Mark.
What is this like? Is this
So Mark is writing an account of the gospel. So Mark writes an account of the gospel. Matthew also writes an account of the gospel. Luke and John, these four authors, they write an account of the gospel of Jesus. Okay.
who are these
So Mark is an apostle who is writing his account at the dictation of Peter. So Peter, who was a direct apostle of Jesus, right? You know who Peter is, Simon Peter.
Yeah.
He was walking around with Jesus, talking with him, whoop-de-whoop, and he's telling Mark the gospel, and Mark's writing it down for him. Luke he was also an apostle around with Paul and them, and he interviewed the disciples of Jesus and the eyewitnesses and wrote a gospel account according to what they told him. John is a direct apostle of Jesus, and so is Matthew. Matthew used to be a tax collector, but Jesus called him and said, "Follow me."
I got a Bible. We got there's Dawa people at my mosque. They have the Bible, and they do their own research on, like, you know, how to Umar.
Yeah.
I don't know what they say because I don't really read the Bible like that. But
Yeah.
I know they had like arguments of like they have like highlighters and stuff like that.
That means nothing to me. But do they live out here?
No, I'm not from here. I'm from Minnesota, man.
Okay.
I'm just down here selling solar panels.
Okay, nice. All right. Ain't
It was
too
nice
bad.
talking to you.
You too, bro.
Like that,
You too. It was a pleasure meeting you. But do not let this just go.
Yeah.
Think seriously about this.
I'm gonna look through this. I'm gonna go look at everything up.
Yeah.
The Quran, confirming the Bible.
Yeah, that's important. I want you to look that.
Yeah, I'm
look
gonna
at
look
that.
it up. I'm gonna search up like an actual answer for this because I don't even got. You just told me what, because I never.
Look, I'm gonna tell you what they say. Trust me, I'm not a prophet. I'm gonna tell you what they're gonna tell you. Okay?
You debated like what.
All of them. I debate all the top guys that you could think of. I've talked to them. They have no answer for this. I'm telling you. We literally are doing a live stream series on we call it the Islamic dilemma. Okay? How the Quran affirms the Bible. We've been doing a live stream on this for the past 2-3 weeks.
I gotta watch it. I'm gonna
do it.
I came across your channel. I came across your TikTok live.
Okay. Well,
I had seen clips of you and Liviano.
Okay.
And,
well, we're gonna do it Friday. On Friday, watch the stream on Friday. Make sure you guys watch it on GodLogic. We're gonna be on YouTube.
we got big ass TV in our.
Oh, good, perfect. Have a watch party.
Yeah.
We're gonna be inviting all the big Muslims. We did it last week. We did it just Friday. None of them came. They won't come.
Who are they? Like who?
We're Sheikh Uthman, Orthodox Muslim, Dean responds, Hamza's Den, all those guys.
Here or is it online?
Yeah, online. We're doing a stream, a live stream. We're inviting them to come and answer this question about the Quran affirming the Bible. Come refute us. That's the challenge. Okay? And so I want you to watch Friday. Okay. We're going to be using the Quran.
Is anybody confirmed though?
No, nobody is. It's just an open invite, and everybody keeps sending.
I think somebody like if it's a live stream, like it's on like.
Anybody can come.
Okay.
It's going to be on YouTube. Anybody can tune in on YouTube, hit the link, and join the discussion. Okay.
I'm gonna
yeah, tune in.
Ask when you first start ask that question. I want to see how they like answer.
Of course.
Yeah, because
I promise you, none of them are going to show up though. They won't show up. They're not going to show up.
Wait, how did the conversation with Dean go?
With Dean?
Last time you debated him.
Oh, Dean thinks that he says the Injil is the New Testament.
Hey man, I'm gonna look into. I used to be watching YouTube debates and stuff like that. But me and him, we met on this app. We used to debate on.
Yubo.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Everybody you debate, Liviano.
Yeah.
I've debated Dean before, but when I was new, so he kind of could.
He kind of got you? Yeah, he could be a little deceptive, but it's all good. None of them can answer this. This is a problem for all of them. So, that's what I'm saying.
It was cool.
Yeah, all right, bro.